games in the first round of the NBA playoffs today. At 4 o'clock, we got Knicks Hawks. 5 o'clock, we got Celtics 76ers, and we got Timberwolves and Nuggets at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow night is Lakers Rockets game 6, which you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760 with pregame coverage starting at 6:15, and we'll have the tip a little after 6:30. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one. Schaefer and Sliwa on this Thursday afternoon where we have a loaded show. We're not loaded, I don't think. I can speak for myself. Schaefer and Sliwa with you for the next 3 hours. You're sober this afternoon, I would assume.
50-50.
50-50.
It just kind of depends, who you're asking and what is the tolerance level. I think it's up in the air right now, but thank you for asking.
No, I wanted to make sure you were, since we're about to talk to each other for 3 hours. Really good show lined up. We're going to go in a lot of different directions. Of course, we've got you covered even on a Padres off day with the latest on the Padres. We'll get into actually in a moment the good, bad, and ugly of the first month of the regular season. Before we go there, can we spend a moment on your travels from yesterday? Because you left here at 6 p.m. on your way for Crypto.com and Game 5 of the Rockets-Lakers series.
Yes.
And can I just, because we haven't touched on this, I do know you made a stop or two like to get gas. You told me that this morning, but you haven't told me when you got into the arena. So can I make a guess, like how much time was on the clock? Do you have a feel for how much time was on the clock when you got in?
Let me just say, actually, I know exactly, because I felt like this might come up, yesterday when you and I were doing the show. Some moments where I'm like, man, is this guy like an investigative reporter? He really, really wants to know what time I'm getting in there, what's the kind of routine, all that stuff. So yes, I have a very, very good idea.
I wanted
what time I walked in.
I wanted a video or a picture when you arrived, but I knew it was busy. Here's my speculation. You left at 6. We were watching tip-off in my home because the previous game ended. Then they went to tip-off. It was like 7:18. It
was later.
By the time the game tipped.
Which is very NBA. They drag some of these. They want other games to end. I think the Cleveland-Toronto game, they were waiting
That was
to
the
end.
game. But my guess is you didn't get into the arena or to like your seat in the arena until the second quarter. I'll say there was 10-11 to play in the second quarter.
Wow.
It's very specific.
That's way too optimistic. No, that did not happen.
Halftime.
I'm there. I'm parked, and there's still about maybe 2 minutes left in the first half.
Oh, wow.
So I'm parked across the street from the arena, 2 minutes left to go in the first half. And as I kind of work my way in, now I got plenty of time, another 10 minutes or so before the second half starts. Now let me mind you here. I left the station. When I left the station, I went and got an oil change. I got a haircut, and I had to get some I'm just kidding. When I left the station, I have like a certain area. San Clemente has a Sprouts. I think what is the exit? There's like one specific exit. I've made this trip from LA to San Diego 4,000 times in the past couple of years. So I have like a specific stop. Went to Sprouts, grabbed a couple of items, pumped gas, and I was back on the road. It was like a pit stop in NASCAR. You know what I mean? It was like one of those.
No, that's not a pit stop. If you're going to Sprouts, this is the reason why you
went to the
restroom.
Also used the restroom.
By the way, the moment you arrived inside that building, that game went completely haywire. But we can get into that over the course of the show.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 4-point game.
Well, for the LA Lakers, that series will continue. We'll get into it. All right, so Padres are off. They get the White Sox at home for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow. We put a bow on the first month, essentially. Yeah, it started in March, but now we're through April because they don't play again until May. We did this a little earlier in the season, but we have more data at this point. They've played 30 games. So why don't we just volley back and forth, good, bad, ugly, for the 1911 Padres 30 games into their season. You can go anywhere you want with it to get us started, but where would you start for the Padres? 19 wins. What is the good other than their overall record through the first month of the year?
Okay, can I say, did we not do this? Were we 1 week in? I want to say
Probably.
We did this like it was maybe we couldn't have been more than 6-7 games in, and we were just kind of trying to get a feel. Maybe not even. Yeah, I think it was probably after the first 2 series, something like that. And we're trying to kind of just get a feel. Who the hell is this team? We're still trying to figure out what their identity is. Frankly, I still think I don't know if we fully know what their identity is 30 games in. All right, let me start off with a good. I know you said other than the record, and I will give you something other than the record, but that truly is the foundation. Like being 19-11, let's not forget here where they're sitting. Let's kind of not forget walking into the season how many question marks we're going to have about the Padres. For me, the good, I'm going to play off of something that Tatis said, I think within the last day or two. And he said that you need everybody to compete. So we're so isolated on just individual players. But the thing I've loved most about this team so far, I could rattle off 6-7 guys that have had production so far this season, maybe even more than that. If you start looking at what Randy Vasquez does or Randy Vasquez has done as well. To me, the thing that I like the most about their start of the season is kind of these unsung heroes, guys that I didn't know I'd be talking about. Ty France, Luis Camposano, like I mentioned, Randy Vasquez. There's been players, Xander Bogaerts, whether, yes, he should be playing a little bit closer towards his contract, but, I don't think any of us know what he's going to do. I love that we could name 6-7 guys that have nothing to do with the big-time names that the Padres have. And that, to me, through the first 30 games, sitting 19-11, put that to the side, that's what stands out the most to me.
Yeah, there's 2 things for me. One of which is, you have high expectations for Mason Miller coming into the year, but he became like a national storyline for the first month of the year. Whether it was his scoreless streak that dated back to last year or the way it ended with that controversial fair foul call just earlier in the week. So there's Mason Miller and everything he's done. I mean, he was like a first-month Cy Young candidate for whatever it's worth. And then to follow up on your point on Xander Bogaerts, when you don't have a ton of expectations based on what you've seen for the last 3 years and you perform to this caliber, his OPS plus is 17% better than an average major league hitter. He's been really good. I mean, Tatis is way under an average major league hitter, for example, right now. So I've been very optimistic on Bogaerts, not just his offense. I think his defense has been very good. His power has been impressive in the first month of the season. So 2 things stand out for me. It's Xander Bogaerts as a regular, what he's done, and Mason Miller as a closer, one of the talks of the sport 1 month in.
Yeah, and what's great about Xander, too, is like, there was a time where I remember I went on early when we started our show, which obviously we've been doing our show now. How many years now? It's been like
about
11 years.
1/12 of a year.
1/12 of a year. And during early of that 1/12 of the year, I mentioned about I wanted to grab a Xander jersey, and you talked me out of it. And now, looking back, I should. They always say you should really you should take your own advice. You should, go with your gut. And you talked me out of getting a Xander jersey, and that price has probably gone up a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm glad I did, because if he's going to play well, don't buy the jersey. Like, let him play well. Don't go buy the jersey and all of a sudden
I need
100.
Honest answer here. Are you like full in on the
Jinx?
Yeah. Are you full in
baseball,
on all that?
Yeah. Having worked in baseball and understood, like, the players are so superstitious. They don't step on chalk. They don't talk about no hitters.
I kick chalk. Like I would kick chalk up in the air.
No, when it comes to baseball specifically, I abide by some of the unwrittenness, and I jive with some of the superstitions in the sport. I do. All right, what has not gone perfectly for the Padres? Not the ugly, but where maybe is an area of improvement or room for improvement moving forward for the Padres?
I'm going to save ugly for something that I don't think they have control over. So we'll save that for that portion. I would say the bad, it's the obvious one that everybody's talking about, right? The obvious is they got players that should be carrying this franchise. They got players that are the face of this franchise. They got players when you get to Petco Park, You see you see Manny Machado. You see his face outside of Petco. You see, of course, Fernando Tatis, even Jackson Merrill. I'll throw his name in there as well. These are supposed to be your foundational players that are carrying you. So for me, the bad has been, unfortunately, the Padres haven't got a chance to be carried by those guys. And I honestly think there's a lot of positives that you can walk away with. I know we're going to continue. Tatis is a story, and there's nobody, you can't get away from it. Like even you and I were trying to say, hey, everybody keeps talking about Tatis. You can't not talk about Tatis right now, but I'm just using those three players in general. I'm not going to throw Cronenworth into that mix, but I don't know how you could have a sub 150 average and be an everyday player in the league. But that to me is the bad. The positive could be is once those guys start rolling, once those guys start playing well, once those guys start contributing, is there all of a sudden a brand new ceiling for the Padres? And we don't have that answer yet. But that to me, it's impossible that that's not the bad. I did think about the bullpen for a second, but I do think that's more of a smaller sample size. This is a bigger sample size.
For me, the ugly would be Jackson Merrill, if not for Fernando Tatis Jr. Like Jackson Merrill's numbers are worse than Tatis's. He just happened to have hit home runs. But
how many does he have? Does he have 3?
He's hit 3, but he's hitting 200. Tatis is hitting 250. His OPS plus is 34% worse than the average big league hitter. It's 66. I mean, that is anemic. It's worse than Toddy so far this year, but I don't think he draws the same headlines. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Toddy makes 340. True. Merrill makes 100. Toddy's in his prime. Merrill is still a young player, but I just told you my ugly. The ugly has to be Tatis because he's still on the goose egg 30 games in, but Jackson Merrill, he's not going to get a pass, nor will Manny Machado, nor will ultimately Jay Cronenworth. And to your point, I think they all come around, hopefully to some extent, but they've all been bad to varying extents. And Merrill might be at the top of that list, other than the fact that he's hit a couple of home runs to keep him out of some of the headlines, like Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, okay. We were just kind of going in order here. So good, bad, and ugly. I actually don't know where to put injuries, but to me, the ugly, and again, they don't have any control over this. The ugly to me is Nick Pivetta, right? The fact, and I could add to it. I could say Nick Pivetta, and I could add Joe Musgrove into that mix as well. Like, The worst part about this season so far is we don't have any timetable for when those guys are coming back. That to me is the ugly of the season. The ugly is those are two guys that you're just hoping and praying are ready to go. I mean, how excited were a lot of Padre fans and San Diegans because he's a local? How excited was everybody about getting Joe Musgrove back, being a part of the mix this year? We still haven't seen him, and we have no idea when we're going to see him. Nick Pivetta, that's your ace. That's a guy that gets the ball to start the season. That is such an honor for any pitcher to start the season saying, hey, I'm the ace of this team, and he gets injured, obviously a few starts in. So that to me, I would look at as more of the ugly piece of the season so far.
What is your good, bad, and ugly 1 month in? You can text us 70470. Start your message with the word team. You can call us 877-767-4760. We'll get to those calls and texts.
Pick up the phone. Call us. What's going on here?
We're going to get to Michael on the other side of a break. In addition, the latest on Fernando Tatis Jr., who again is homerless through 30 games. 30 games into the season, Fernando Tatis Jr. is homerless. And he said yesterday he's just not happy, I think, with his results so far at the plate. We'll get into it on the other side. Latrell Davis, Aztec redshirt guard, heading into his redshirt junior season after sitting last year. He's going to join us. He's scheduled to. Coming up at 3:30, just underway on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, San Diego Sports 760 has 9 chances for you to win $1,000. That's every weekday with the Bonus Bucks contest. Listen every hour 9 through 5. Listen for the keyword, enter it at sportssd.com, and your next chance to win $1,000 coming up soon. Right here on San Diego Sports 760. Latrell Davis, Aztec redshirt junior guard, scheduled to join us in about 10 minutes. I want to get to something that Dennis Lynn wrote today in The Athletic about Fernando Tatis Jr. But before we do that, we can go to your calls if you want to weigh in. The good, bad, and the ugly of the Padres 1 month into the regular season. 877-767-4760. And Michael, you're on with Schaefer and Sliwa on San Diego Sports 760.
Hi, good afternoon, Schaefer and Silva. It's great talking to you guys.
Thanks for calling.
Alan, welcome to the San Diego Sports 760 family.
Thank you, brother.
Great listening
Appreciate
to both of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think the Padres haven't even touched what's possible ahead of them. I live here in Northwest Indiana, so I hear it from the Cub fans, but I'm one of the bigger Padre fans there is. I'll tell you, I would like to see if we can move Cronenworth. I think we've seen enough sample size of Jake. Batting under 150, I don't think that's going to get it done. We got too many players playing way above what we even thought they could do. Camposano, Vasquez. I love Ty France, having him at first base. We probably never should have moved him years ago, but we did what we did. But, yeah, if we could just move Jake Cronenworth and maybe package him in a deal with a few minor leaguers that we still got, I think it would be very good for the future. I know it's not a finished product yet, but thank you for the call.
Yeah,
thanks,
Michael. Here's the thing, Alan. I'd love to get your 2 cents on it. I mean, what value does Jake Cronenworth have? He's making $11 million a year and he's hitting 150. I just don't think there's a lot there at this point in his career.
Well, first off, I appreciate our caller calling from the Midwest and representing San Diego proud. So that's phenomenal for him to do that. This is the problem with trades, right? Like, we see this all the time. And I know you run into this anytime you're talking sports, anytime I'm talking anything. Same thing, right? I'll use the NBA as an example. Oh, get rid of this guy. He's not playing well. Well, if you don't like him and you don't want him, what value does he have somewhere else? Right now, Jake Cronenworth, like we said, is batting under $150. Now, listen, that doesn't mean there might be teams that say, hey, they're not using Cronenworth the right way. We can use him in our system. He can flourish here, blah, blah, blah. They're going to give you pennies on the dollar, right? Like, the idea is if they trade for a player like that, they're not giving you much in return. So I don't think he's going anywhere. And I just think that just has to do with the fact that he's not playing well. And you know, he's got a contract. It's not like this guy doesn't make anything. He's attached to some dollars as well.
Yeah, over $80 million. The term of the deal, not still remaining. He's making over $11 million per year. All right, Latrell Davis, Aztec redshirt junior guard, will join us in about 6 or 7 minutes. Dennis Lynn today in The Athletic, writing about Fernando Tatis Jr., who's in the midst of his second longest homerless drought of his career, the only one longer last summer, 1 additional plate appearance. He's up to 131 so far this year, 131 plate appearances without a home run. Listen to this. Tatis's average launch angle, fly ball rate, and pull percentage are career lows. So 131 plate appearances. He went 132 last summer, Allen. Does that give us any hope? Because last year he actually did, produce 20-plus home runs. Is that still possible for Tatis entering May?
Yeah, a couple things on Tatis, okay? So, I would say if I told you what are some of the top storylines around the Padres so far this season, take the whole season.
Yeah.
Mason Miller, maybe obviously the sell of the Padres that was a top storyline, one of the biggest storylines in all Major League Baseball. You can't get pretty far without talking about Tatis and his homerless streak, and everybody, obviously continues to talk about that. When you told me a little bit earlier today that he's had a stretch like this before, that was actually a little bit encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Tatis, and unfortunately he is such an important player for this franchise. And at one point, everybody thought, hey, is this the best player in baseball? Like, he really, truly was the face of baseball. He had a moment there where he was the face of baseball. This is, I think, the only thing Tatis should pay attention to. If he swings harder, John, is his chance going to increase of hitting a home run? If he thinks about it more every single 5 minutes, is he going to hit a home run? He's not. If I'm Tatis, and I think this is much easier said than done. What Tatis needs to pay most attention to is the team is winning. And even though he doesn't have a home run, they're 19-11. And you know what? Eventually he's going to freaking catch one, and he's going to hit one. I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe it's tomorrow. We thought it was going to be before the Rocky series and before they went to Mexico City. And pretty unbelievable that he didn't hit one of those over those 5 games. So I know every storyline is around him. I don't know when he's going to hit it. I'm a little encouraged that he's had a streak like this before. And maybe, for his own sake, most likely he's going to shatter whatever streak that he's been on just based off of how things have gone so far this season. But if you're Tatis, the last thing I think you need this dude to do is to get more and more into his head. He doesn't have the cockiness and that attitude. Maybe he does a little bit, but he's not Machado. Like Machado walks around like every pitch that comes his way, the next one's going to be a home run. That's not necessarily Tatis. At least it doesn't feel like that mentally. It's going to turn around. And the team's 19-11. They're not 11-19. If the Padres were struggling, imagine for this being this big of a story now, 8 games over 500. What story would it be if it was 8 games below 500?
It would be, it would be a really bad one, not just for Fernando Tatis Jr., but Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill and Jake Cronenworth. But it really isn't. You're right. There's more good than bad, even though individually there have been a lot of bad starts that hopefully there's an inevitability to it. But I don't know if there is or not. Like, will all these players inevitably have better years? I don't know if all of them will, but they need Fernando Tatis Jr. They absolutely need him.
Sure. Of course,
to reach their true potential. They need him obviously doing more than he's doing right now. At the plate, we'll get back to it later this hour. Latrell Davis, Aztec redshirt junior guard on the other side, back for year 2 on the Mesa after redshirting last year. He'll join us live next. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. The Padres are off today, but they start a weekend series tomorrow night at Petco Park against the White Sox. It's going to be Noah Schultz going against Herman Marquez. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got 3 more potential closeout games in the first round of the NBA playoffs tonight. At 4:00, we got Knicks at Hawks. At 5, it's Celtics at Philadelphia. And we got Nuggets and Timberwolves at 6:00. Lakers Rockets game 6 is tomorrow night. You can hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Pregame coverage will begin at 6:15, and we'll have the tip a little after 6:30. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
All right, so San Diego State basketball, it's been a busy offseason, obviously, already. We had Brian Dutcher on last week talking about the portal and the state of the roster. And it's great to catch up right now with an Aztec redshirt junior guard, Latrell Davis, out of Leeds, England, who redshirted last year on the Mesa and is ready to debut for the Red and Black here in the 2026-2027 season coming up later this fall. So, Latrell, first of all, thanks for joining us here today. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How much it's funny because normally this time of year is like the true off season. I mean, we're still months out from the start of next season, but for you, after sitting out last year, how much do you feel like you're just ready to go after sitting on the sidelines for the better part of the last, 12 months?
I can't wait. I can't wait to get back to competition. Like, I've just been silent for so long that I'm just ready to go. Like, I'm itching to go. I felt like I've had really like 2 off seasons in a row, really. So I'm just ready to get playing again and show what I can do and help the team win.
All right, first off, that might be the best accent we've ever had on the radio. That's number one. We'll get that out of the way. Okay, actual basketball question. You're sitting there watching the entire time. What are some things that, like, what's the advantage of kind of sitting back and getting a chance to watch, your squad, your team, your university? How can that help you? Like, what are some of the benefits? Like you said, you're eager to get in there. You're eager to start this upcoming season. But what are some of the benefits just observing like you were?
I would probably say I sat out so I could really see the game from a different point of view, from like kind of a coach's standpoint and people that kind of observe the game. So I would say, like, I've seen a lot of the stuff that the team probably necessarily didn't do last year, and a lot of the stuff we needed. I would probably say, like, more rebounding and stuff like that, and I can, like, implement that in my game. Like, I watched a lot, and, like, I paid a lot of attention to, like, okay, I could have run in here, and I probably would have got this rebound, or if I made this effort every time, then I could probably get this or that. And it's like, okay, so that's what I know to bring next year, so we don't have a lack of that on the team. And I could just see how well my game implemented into how we play. I feel like we play a very aggressive game, but like it's also free at the same time. So I feel like I could see my game fit in how we play. Like, it helped me understand the way we do stuff, the way our culture is at this school, to be able to know fully what to do next year, to be able to lead a team and be one of the leaders and voices of the team.
Latrell Davis, Aztec redshirt junior guard, with us right now. Schaefer and Sliwa, home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. It's this whole new era, Latrell. So you know it because you're on social media. Like, Aztec fans are curious about every player, and even you coming off a redshirt because of transfer portal and the state of the game. I mean, every player is free to come and go basically, each and every year. So was this at all a decision for you to come back to San Diego State, or how did the offseason or the start of the offseason play out for you and your family?
I mean, I knew I wanted to be here ever since my freshman year when I played San Diego State. I always wanted to be here. So that was never a problem of me wanting to leave, me not liking it here. Like, I love it here. Everything's amazing. The culture, the academic stuff, the coaches, the fans, the support, like everything at the school, I love. Like, you probably won't get this anywhere else. Like, I can say that from me being at a different school before. So, yeah, it's crazy. Everyone's entering the portal, everyone's transferring, everyone's maybe trying to get money or whatever. But, I mean, it's hard to find a place with good culture and good everything, for real. Like, you have a lot of support here, and it helps a lot in the classroom, off the court. there's a lot of stuff to do. Like in San Diego also, like you have so much stuff that you can really do. If you wanted to clear your mind, you have managers that are willing to help you. If you want to get extra shots up, like they'll come at some ridiculous times and help you out just to see you get better. Like you're not getting that everywhere. And yeah.
Latrell, you know, a lot of times we get a chance, especially John. John gets to talk to Dutch a ton. And obviously that relationship, that's somebody who covers the team and the head coach, that's going to be different than a head coach and a player. What's your relationship with Dutch? Just if you have some experiences that you could tell us, what's it like? We hear so many compliments about Dutch and how he's obviously led the program here for a number of years. What's that experience been like for you? How come, why are so many people complimenting Dutch with the way he runs his program, the culture that he's built? You just referenced it as well. What's unique about that?
I mean, Dutch is a great coach. Everyone knows that. And he runs the program great. I mean, my personal connection with him, like he like welcomes you with open arms. Like you can speak to him whenever you want. You can say how you feel and what you think, and he'll take that. Like he's not a coach that it's always his way, this way, this and that. Like if you genuinely have an opinion and you go to speak to him one-on-one, he will consider it. And it's not like, no, whatever he says is final. Like he'll take accountability and the blame for stuff rather than some coaches I feel like will be like, no, it's your fault. And I love that about him, honestly. And just, he's a very laid back, but he's very passionate about coaching. Like you can tell, like he knows the game well. He spends a lot of time doing film. Like he doesn't leave it all to the assistants. Like he does a lot of the work too. And you know, you can speak to him whenever you want about anything. Like his goal, I feel like he just helps out in general. Like besides basketball, like he wants to look out for his long term. Like you could always have a connection with him after basketball. It's not just about basketball. If you needed to speak to him about something that's going on in your life, school, anything, like he's trying to make you become a man after you're done with basketball, then just be a basketball coach. Like he wants to be more than that. And you can't say that about every coach, I don't think, because there's some coaches that I don't feel like you can make a great connection with. And that's obviously what I love about Dutch. And he's just always kind, like, especially when my family's been here, he's always been welcoming to my family, everything. Like, he's just a great person in general. And on the court, of course, like, he just knows the game so well that he'll give you advice. He's not one to start practicing, speak for ages. Like, he observes and then he'll speak to us about it in film or whatever he thinks. And I like that a lot.
That's great insight. Great insight from Latrell Davis joining us right now. Aztec redshirt junior guard getting ready for his first season really in uniform on the Mesa here in 2026-27. Speaking of this upcoming year, you're going to have a chance to play with a couple of returnees, the freshmen that will be sophomores in LZ Harrington and Tay Simmons. They're both back. What did you see in the growth of their games last year, and how excited are you to play with each of them?
I'm excited to play them for sure. LZ is a very good freshman, very good talent. Same with Tay, but LZ can get to his spot very good. Like he's had practices. I was like, yeah, he's for sure going to the league, and I still believe that's going to happen. Same with Tay. I mean, you see in how he was. He just stuck through and played the course, and the game ended up coming to him. Like Tay's story, like the way it played out for Tay kind of reminded me of how it was for me my freshman year. So it was kind of easy for me to see that light and just speak to him sometimes, but like, just keep going. Like, don't just like let it all work out and just keep doing you in practice and keep playing hard, because it was kind of the same with me my freshman year when I went from playing a bit and then people came back from injury and I stopped really playing that much. And then I started playing very good when I had my opportunity, and then I started playing a lot. And I kind of seen the same with Tay, and he made the most of his opportunity, which I love to him, and I support it always. Like me on the bench, I was supporting everybody no matter what, good days, bad days. Like I'll try to do my best to be that extra player or kind of an extra coach, but not a coach, like the one that will motivate people and just keep everyone's head right in the moment of need, like just playing my part in the team. But I'm very excited. LZ's had big games, stepped up in big moments against big teams. So I'm excited to play with them. I felt like it could be a very strong core of the team, and just the people that we have coming in. Like we just got to create a good culture, a good team, good work ethic, and we just got to play aggressive and tough, and we'll be a great team for sure.
Latrell, final one from me, man. I appreciate the time. So you know the you know what San Diego State has built over the years, right? Steve Fisher and now Brian Dutcher, and there's this expectation that you got to make the tournament every year, which is great. We know the news coming out about expansion of the NCAA tournament to 76 teams. As a player, what's that like, just, you know, being a part of a program where there are expectations that the city of San Diego and a lot of alum obviously expect to see San Diego State in the tournament every single season? What is that from your perspective? I mean, how great? I mean, you could explain however it is that you feel, but the pressure that comes with that.
I don't really see it as pressure, honestly. I see it as like an opportunity to showcase that this is really what we do. Like, I feel like it's something normal rather than it's something that should be normalized rather than it should be like, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
A shock. Like there's some teams that you expect to be in a tournament and you don't expect nothing less. So I feel like we just can't settle for less. And as a team, it just motivates us. It should motivate whatever motivates me. But I feel like as a team, it should motivate us more to reach that goal, and that not be our end goal. That's our less goal. And then winning the tournament is our highest goal. And you know, it's just nice because all the fans, like, they expect us to be there, but they also have our back with us being there. Like, they come to support the games, they travel with us to support, and it just means a lot because you can tell they really support and are hoping for the best in us. So that also helps.
Real quick before you go, you're in San Diego. You were born and raised, correct me if I'm wrong, in Leeds in England. I know you ended up in Florida, and now you've been from San Jose State to San Diego. Have you been home, or will you be home at some point this summer? Because that's not a hop, skip, and a jump, right? That's a pretty long plane ride from San Diego, isn't it?
Yeah. I just came back from home not too long ago, like spring break. But yeah, I'm gonna go back home probably end of May. Yeah, I'll probably go back home in May.
All right. Well,
after the school year's over for a little bit.
And then
John and I are available, so we'll come out too. Just show us around. You know, I've always wanted to see the area.
No doubt about it. Latrell, we appreciate you taking time for us. We're excited to see you on the Mesa this upcoming season, and enjoy the spring and summer. And we'll see you at the Jam, and we'll see you this fall at Viejas Arena.
Thank you, man.
Of course, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, great stuff. Latrell Davis, redshirt junior guard for San Diego State. It's amazing how international the game is, right? And how, like, again,
that's a good point.
I interviewed him this past summer. We can get into it more because we're up against it. But, like, you know, in England, obviously basketball isn't the primary sport. I don't think it's the secondary sport or the tertiary sport.
They got a small league out there that's, you know, doing okay. The English Premier League, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah, that's pretty successful and popular.
Might do okay.
But to be, you know, a basketball player in Leeds, England, and have these opportunities in the States and to make the most of it. Now he's on the Mesa at San Diego State. Is really a unique story.
All right, just one quick thing here. I'll say every one of these guys that we've interviewed, damn, they really are recruiting more than just a basketball player. Like, each one of these guys enjoy having the conversation with them. They all seem like there's a bigger picture than just obviously playing ball.
All right, we're going to get into what Allen experienced last night at Crypto as the Lakers fall to the Rockets. Are they now in trouble after starting this series up 3-0? It's now heading back to Houston for Game 6. The wrap is still ahead as well. Plenty to get to over the next couple of hours here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again for our friends at the all-new Humboldt Casino Resort, the Players Place. As some of you know by now, the hotel and spa at Humboldt Casino Resort is open, and it's just a terrific overall experience because you can experience elevated luxury with their refined hotel stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, all the excitement of Humboldt Casino Resort seamlessly brought together in one unforgettable destination. And now you can take your stay to the next level with exclusive hotel packages crafted for the ultimate escape. And while you're there, check out their dining options, including Humboldt 23, with their lobster buffet every day. You can enjoy all-you-can-eat lobster every day, plus dozens of other delicious stations. Start your morning with their new signature breakfast buffet, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10:30 a.m., featuring made-to-order omelets, fresh fruit, and sweet and savory favorites. In addition, you'll love Tony Gwynn's with their endless dining every Wednesday through Sunday at Tony Gwynn's Sports Pub. This is all at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. All right, Schaefer and Sliwa on this Thursday afternoon. We've got the wrap coming up at 4 p.m. SDFC defender Chris McVey ahead of SDFC LAFC. That's Saturday at Snapdragon. He'll join us coming up at 4:15. Of course, we'll get back to the good, bad, and ugly of the Padres. You can call us 877-767-4760, 1 month in, or you can text us 70470. Start it with the word team. The good, bad, and ugly of the Padres 1 month into their 2026 regular season.
Then also there was a lot of good ones on YouTube as well. We'll go through as well. So appreciate all those are on YouTube that are thrown in the chat as well.
You could search Schaefer and Sliwa. Then there was last night in the NBA, including at Crypto, where the Lakers, it was supposed to be, they're closing out the series. They're going to win this thing in 5. They led by as many as 11 points early, but they ultimately falter and they're going back to Houston. And if it goes back to LA, they'll try to avoid being the first team in basketball history to blow a 3-0 series lead. So has the pressure shifted after what played out last night in LA? And you were there.
Big time it shifted. By the way, it's kind of a interesting vibe, for a playoff game, right? And it's just weird right now for the Lakers in general. And kind of the NBA has run into this. You just got when you got key injuries, like look at the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. They're trying to go into a series now without Anthony Edwards. Like, how much can your crowd really get into it? Anyways, long story short, Lakers, you have a 3-0 lead. Okay, you lose one to the Houston Rockets, no big deal. You actually got a split there. You and I have talked about it. One of the worst losses I've ever watched in the playoffs was Game 3, Rockets up 6 points with the ball with 30 seconds left to go and very creatively found a way to choke away that game. Last night was supposed to just be, yep, you got Austin Reeves back. The team is feeling good. They had 2 days rest in between. It's a home game. So this just felt like this was going to be a W and you move on. I still don't really understand what's happening. Like, all of a sudden, the Houston Rockets look better without Kevin Durant. And I know that sounds absurd, but I actually genuinely think there's something to that. The Lakers, who walked into the series with zero pressure, there was no pressure on the Lakers walking into the series, took a 3-0 lead. Now it's 3-2. And only 4 other teams in NBA history has forced a Game 7. The Rockets, all they got to do is win one more game at home. And you want to talk about pressure? The Los Angeles Lakers could be the first team. LeBron could be the first team to give up a 3-0 lead in a series. Now, do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think the Lakers are still going to win the series? I do. But the Rockets have clearly, by the way, if Rockets don't blow that game in Houston, they're up 3-2. They could easily have control of this series. They don't. And all of a sudden, the Lakers now look like they're just kind of trying to keep themselves up going into tomorrow night's game in Houston.
And then there was Charles Barkley postgame on LeBron's ability to carry the Lakers the deeper this series goes. This was Chuck last night.
And now you see the last 2 games, got Jabari. I don't know if he should be coming and saying they got the best team when you're down 3-1. But if they don't make mistakes, they're going to get good shots. The Lakers are not full strength. LeBron is wearing down. Let me tell you that. LeBron's wearing down. I saw all these idiots and fools on television. LeBron's playing great for a 41-year-old in Game 1 and Game 2. And he played great in Game 1 too. But when you get older, the longer a series goes, his efficiency is coming down. And what it's doing is it's affecting Kennard and Smart, because they're not getting wide open shots anymore. Look at their numbers are coming down too.
Right. All right. So Charles Barkley on LeBron. Would you agree with that? The longer the series plays out, that's less advantageous for LeBron James?
Look, you and I mentioned this before the series started. And by the way, this goes with any in the NBA, this is a no-brainer, right? If you're a young team, you want these games back to back. If you're an older team, give me as much rest as I can get. The way they started the series, Lakers didn't play for 1 week. Then they play on a Saturday. Then they get 2 days off. They play on a Tuesday. Then they get 2 days off. They play on a Friday. Like all this has gone perfect for the Lakers as far as how they're stretching it out. Yesterday started Wednesday in LA, Friday in Houston, Sunday in LA. Clearly that's not going to benefit LeBron. It's not going to benefit Marcus Smart. That's not going to benefit Luke Kennard. It's not going to benefit some of these guys that have been in the league. Rockets got one of the youngest teams in the NBA. They're okay with, let's play these games as fast as possible. I get what Barkley's saying. Here's the problem with Barkley's point. Do you know how many different times that in the last 5 years, everybody, including myself, has said, but LeBron, he's going to get tired. This isn't going to work with LeBron. Or, you know what? This guy is already old. He's this, he's that. Yep. That's happened 500 times. And every time, eventually LeBron finds a way to respond to it. I'm not worried about LeBron come Friday. It doesn't benefit the Lakers, but I still think LeBron's going to be ready.
It's like Tom Brady was written off at the midway point of his career and then won probably 4 Super Bowls from that point forward. And LeBron James, to your point, has been written off. And by the way, they're going to be an underdog, as you'd expect, in Houston. They're 3.5-point underdog in Houston. If it goes 7, they were only a 4.5-point favorite, the Lakers, yesterday. You're looking at probably a 3-point line or something like that for a 7th game. We don't even know if KD would potentially play if this goes 7 games. So it would be fascinating if it gets back to LA. I would say that.
Why are they better without KD? I can tell you why.
Why are they better without KD?
I know that I know I'm saying that. I don't fully believe what I mean when I say it, that they're better. But brother, how many times have you seen, and the NBA is a perfect example of it, when you got one guy and everybody he's got the ball. Yeah, he's sticks. Holding the ball. Yeah. Everyone is just kind of waiting for him to make a decision. Right now, they're just got the Lakers. All 5 guys scored in double figures yesterday. So they're playing a different style of basketball that KD's not there.
We're going to get to the wrap on the other side. Again, text line is open if you want to weigh in on the good, bad, and ugly of the Padres through 30 games in 1 month of the regular season. You can text us 70470, start your message with the word team, or call us 877-767-4760. Great giveaways in the final 2 hours of the show. And Chris McVey, SDFC defender, ahead of LAFC and SDFC at Snapdragon. He'll join us coming up at 4:15 here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. The Padres have an off day today. They start a weekend series with the White Sox tomorrow at Petco Park. It's going to be Noah Schultz going for Chicago and German Marquez going for San Diego. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got 3 more potential closeout games in the first round of the NBA playoffs tonight. Tipping off in about 5 or 10 minutes, we got Knicks and Hawks. At 5 o'clock, we got Celtics, Philadelphia. And at 6, we got Nuggets and Timberwolves. Game 6 of the Rockets-Lakers series is going to be right here tomorrow night on San Diego Sports 760. Our pregame coverage will begin at 6:15, and we'll have the tip after 6:30. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Schaefer and Sliwa, and we will catch up with SDFC defender Chris McVey ahead of SDFC and LAFC this weekend at Snapdragon Stadium. He's scheduled to join us in about 13 minutes. We will get back.
Buddy.
Huge game. They're all big. They're all big, especially when you're winless. SDFC is in their last 7 MLS matches, so it is a big game coming up. We'll get back to the Padres, the good, bad, and the ugly of the first month of the year. We can do that coming up at 4:30. We see some of your reaction on YouTube. Search for Schaefer and Sliwa, or on our text line 70470. Start it with the word team. But again, Chris McVey joins us in just over 10 minutes. So right now, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
What will the fallout be if the Lakers lose this series?
What would the fallout be? So the Lakers would be the first team in NBA history to blow a 3-0 lead. It'd be awful. That's something that sticks with you. I know it was different with the Yankees and the Red Sox, but Red Sox were down 0-3, and they did a full 30 for 30 on it, and an unbelievable documentary on how the Red Sox came back from the Yankees. It would be a colossal failure. I think a lot of it would fall on the head coach. I think a lot of it would fall on, obviously the players, but typically it falls on the coach. It would be like I said, a colossal failure going into the offseason, and maybe that sparks the Lakers to be a little bit more aggressive because of that.
Yeah, it's like, I think if a typical organization did it, you would just be like, are you serious? Like the Orlando Magic blew a 3-0 series lead. I don't know if that fundamentally changes the organization. If the Lakers blow a 3-0 series lead, the expectations are so high, obviously, each and every year. Even if they weren't high a week ago heading into the series, I'm sorry, the expectation at 3-0 is to win the series. There would have to be some type of fallout. I'd be shocked if there wasn't any, if that actually took place and they lost the next 2 games.
Well,
I don't know what it would be.
John, but I think you're right. Like, there is a little bit of, you don't even have to have expectations to win the series. If you're up 3-0, you can't lose the series. And listen, I don't think it would be this. Do I think JJ Redick is losing his job? I don't think he's losing his job. But do I think that would be a conversation? Of course I think it would be a conversation. Like, again, you can't lose 3-0. And again, KD's not even playing on the other side.
Yeah, really good point. Next question.
What would you rather attend this weekend? The Kentucky Derby or the F1 race in Miami?
Ooh, that's a good question. Damn, that's a really good question. Why am I leaning towards the F1 race? I think because, I've been to I know it's not the Kentucky Derby, but I've been to the Del Mar racetracks over the years and have got a chance to watch, obviously, horse racing, and one of the best venues to watch it at. I've been to Santa Anita before. I think because F1 would be so different for anything I've ever experienced, I think I go F1.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I've been to Del Mar opening day, and it is a scene. It is a scene, and it is unique, and it's spectacular.
The way you say that, your nose so far up in the air.
No, you haven't been to Del Mar opening day?
I have, but it sounded really good to just kind of...
You should have saw John's hat.
Oh, you should have seen what I was wearing. Yeah, beautiful dress. But here's the thing.
That's awesome. A beautiful dress. Yeah. I'm sure you looked great, man.
Here's the thing. I've never been a horse race better. Like, there's such a science to it, right? A lot of the sport is predicated on betting, right? And a lot of sports now in general are predicated on betting. But I would like to see an F1 race, which I've never even seen it. Like, what is that scene like? What would that experience be like? And it is a unique sport how they play it, or the races occur everywhere in the world, week in and week out, including in Miami, of course, in Vegas as well. So I think if given the choice, I'd probably go to Miami for the F1.
Have you ever been to a NASCAR race?
I have, actually. I did my bachelor party at Darlington International Raceway in South Carolina. It was terrible.
Why?
We wanted to do something that was like a bucket list. Like I wouldn't do unless I was like forced to do it, because I'm not a NASCAR guy. So we did it.
You didn't enjoy the experience?
It was so loud. I had what is it? Like not AirPods, but what I have?
Earplugs.
I had the earplugs. It was so loud, even with the earplugs. And then two laps in, there was a crash. And then it took another 20 minutes to get the thing back up again. We left like 10 laps in.
Brother, I'm learning something about you.
You can't talk to anyone. You go with buddies, you cannot communicate.
I'm learning something about you
in any fashion
that I like. There's some obvious things that, what was it, a couple days ago? You're like, not a big turbulence guy.
No.
Right? On a plane.
Turbulence.
One time you said that you're a fan of the internet. There's just some like, the thing of saying it's loud at a NASCAR race.
So loud. It's so loud.
Okay, I got a quick NASCAR story. I went to Fontana years ago.
Yeah.
And they had the race there. That was part of what was it for a while? It was called, was it Sprint? I forget what it was. What was the
Sprint Cup?
I think it was the Sprint Cup, yes. And it was when Jimmy Johnson, out of El Cajon, Granite Hills High School alum, was dominating the sport. Badass event. It was loud. It was worth the loudness.
Right.
By the way, I bought one of those turkey legs when I was there. I went all in. Those turkey legs the size of our heads.
By the way, F1 might be loud for all I know, but I still would rather go to
Probably
F1, I think, than the Kentucky Derby.
Don't you take your kid to like Monster Jam and stuff?
That is so loud, because he loved that. Yeah, at Snapdragon.
Just stay in the car.
Also,
stay in the car.
yeah.
Tell him, listen, go enjoy it for an hour and come back. You know where we parked.
Next question.
Will the Knicks, Sixers, and Timberwolves close out their respective series tonight?
No. I'm gonna make some. I say Hawks force Game 7. Sixers, we appreciate everything you have done, and we're gonna probably call it a season tonight. And I'd love to see. I mean, what a cool story Minnesota is. The problem is, no, I don't think Minnesota wins tonight. So I think two of those teams are not getting through.
Yeah, I think that the Nuggets win tonight. I think the Celtics win by 25 tonight.
We said that last time.
We did say that, and I think that the Hawks. I'm with you. I think the Hawks force the seventh game.
Go Hawks!
But if the Celtics lose tonight, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if the Celtics lost tonight.
It ain't happening. It's not happening.
Next question.
Who's going to hit more home runs this season? Fernando Tatis Jr.
or me?
You have a chance.
You're tied.
Or Jackson Merrill or John.
You know, if I'd have told you 30 days or 30 games into the season, let's say we asked this question before the season started, right? And we're like, who's going to hit more, Jackson Merrill or Fernando Tatis Jr.? We're saying that out of excitement. And right now we're saying it out of like basically how bleak it's been. So, you said Merrill's got 3.
Yep. And
Tatis is sitting at a goose egg. I'm going to go Tatis. Tatis is going to figure this freaking thing out. And I go Tatis.
I'm going to go with Jackson Merrill.
Because he's got a head start?
And also because, 2 years ago, what did he hit? I need his career numbers real quick. 2 years ago, he hit 24. Last year, he hit 16. That's an average of 20. I'll give him 21.
Time last year. Mm-hmm.
I'll give him 21, and I'll say Tatis is hard-pressed to get there. I mean, maybe it's really close, but I'd like to see Merrill get into the 20s, and I'd love to see Tatis get there too. I think it'll be close at the end of the season, and I'd be shocked if either got out of the low 20s. That would really surprise me if either got out of the low 20s. Let's switch gears. Chris McVey, SDFC, will join us on the other side. They have a huge opportunity in their showdown with LAFC coming up this weekend, 6:30 Saturday night, Snapdragon Stadium, a match you can hear right here on your home for SDFC. San Diego Sports 760, then back to Tatis and the Padres at 4:30 here on Schaefer and Sliwa. San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we are hoping to connect with Chris McVey, SDFC defender. I think he's actually calling in right now. So we'll catch up with Chris McVey. We do remind you, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates all our winners and iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time to donate to a classroom project, and your donation will be matched by Donors Choose. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. That's iHeartRadio.com/teachers. It is a huge opportunity this weekend for SDFC back home, taking on LAFC. Saturday night, a match you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760 with pre-match coverage beginning at 6 p.m. And we have Chris McVey back with us on 760. He is a defender for SDFC. So, Chris, first of all, we appreciate you taking time for us. And secondly, how could Saturday help turn your season around right now? Because ever since that road match at Toluca, SDFC is still looking for a win since that moment. So how do you see Saturday in terms of the opportunity in front of you and your team?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on. I think it's a great opportunity for us to bounce back. And yeah, as you said, we've had a couple games now where, we maybe haven't found our form and our usual selves. So, I mean, getting a big result here against LAFC at home, that would be huge and hopefully get us on the right track to get some wins back in.
Chris, just within the sport, and I know all sports are different, but how quick can things turn around? And I mean that more positively, negatively, but just how quick can momentum swing in the game of soccer, specifically MLS? We know how big, obviously, the match is over the weekend, but just in general, how quick do you think things can turn around? And with obviously this game on the heels coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it can go quick both ways. I mean, I've been in the league now for a couple of years, so I know it's you can lose a couple in a row, but then you can also go on and win, 10 in a row. So it's very momentum like that going, and so it's just for us also to get back to what we do well and just like kind of play our style of games, and then the wins will come, because I feel like even some of these games we've played here, it's like if we can kind of fine tune it a little bit and get the right play our style, then we're going to get wins.
SDFC LAFC Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium, a match you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760 at 6:30, and SDFC defender Chris McVey with us right now on Schaefer and Sliwa. Speaking of like the earlier in the season, the CONCACAF Champions Cup, because LAFC is going through it right now against the same opponent in Toluca. What is the challenge of playing in league, but also stepping out of league? How challenging is that as a professional soccer player?
I mean, it's always tough going to Mexico and playing in that altitude and so on. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the same sport we're playing, and we try to play our style. And when we went there, it was a tough game, and they're a good team. But I mean, I think we really liked the opportunity. It was our first time playing in that competition, and hopefully we'll play a lot more in that competition. So. It was a good experience for us, and we'll just take that with us for what's to come.
Chris, when you guys are the best version of yourself, when SDFC, when you feel like, hey, we're clicking on all cylinders, what does that look like? Can you walk us through, in order for you guys to turn some things around and to get back on the winning side and have some positive momentum? What is it that's missing, and what is the best version of SDFC?
Yeah, I think you can kind of see it now the last couple of games. I think it's been going the right direction. I think against Portland, I think we probably dominated them for 80 minutes. But, we have these 10 minutes in the game in the end where maybe we weren't as clean as we would like to be and closed out the game. So it's just putting together a full performance. I think that's pretty much it. I think we're still a really good team. It's just, we've been having this little dip here in the games, and the results haven't gone our way. But I think we're getting back into playing our style and creating more than the other team. And as I said, feel like we really dominated them for pretty much 80 minutes. But it's about us closing out the game and doing it for 90. So hopefully we can, get that right, and then the results will come.
Chris, when you get into an environment like Snapdragon Stadium, which has been terrific for SDFC over these 2 seasons, but then you add the opponent, the regional series / rivalry. I know it's only been 2 years, but with LAFC, how much does the club feed off what plays out within the building?
Yeah, I think the fans have been amazing for us, the whole last year and this year as well. But yeah, maybe even extra in these games against the LA team. So it will get rowdy in there, and it's really fun to play in front of that. And I think, we get a lot of extra energy for it. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Chris, it's interesting for San Diegans, and we know this is a phenomenal soccer town, a phenomenal soccer city, but to get the MLS last year, and you eventually end up with San Diego FC, and you signed a 2-year contract. But just when you first came to San Diego, and this is an expansion team, what was your expectations versus what actually happened, and a chance to obviously play? I know you guys got to the semifinals, obviously didn't get to the finals, but just that experience, what was that like? How much of a shock was that to kind of walk through, even though it was an expansion team?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really know what to expect because it was a new team and so on. But I'd heard very good things about San Diego as a city and also about the project. So, I talked to the coach and to the sporting director before coming, and I just got a really good feeling about it. They hadn't really signed a lot of players, so it was a little bit kind of scary in that sense that you didn't know who was going to come on the team and so on. But yeah, from day one when we had the first training, I felt like, wow, we got great players here, and then also getting the style of play in, and it's been a great fit, and that's also why I re-signed here, because I've been really happy. So yeah, I think it's been a great experience, and I'm just really happy to be here.
SDFC defender Chris McVey with us on the home for SDFC here in San Diego Sports 760. And Schaefer and Sliwa, you mentioned, the comfort level for you. What's it like playing for Mikey Varas?
Yeah, no, I think it's been great. I think, since last year also, I have a lot of individual goals of getting better individually as well. And I think I've been taking, big steps on that as well. So it's been great playing for Mikey and the whole team and managing and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we also went all the way to win the Western Conference in the regular season last year and the Western Conference Finals. So I mean, it's been great so far.
Chris, final one for me, and obviously appreciate you coming on the show, and we're excited about hopefully SDFC obviously turning things around. What would you like to see on Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium from a fan perspective, from, obviously a lot of people, whether they've bought tickets or they haven't bought tickets yet? What type of atmosphere are you hoping for, and how much can that obviously have an effect on the players?
Well, yeah, I think it would be great if it was similar to last year. I remember it was early home game we had against them last year, and it was packed, and the energy, you can really feel it from when we got the first goal in and everything. So hopefully we can see the same thing again, because it really gets us going in the games, and we really get a little extra energy out of it. So hopefully that they can help us with that, so we can push for a win and get the things going again.
Yeah, huge opportunity again this weekend for SDFC taking on LAFC at Snapdragon Stadium. And again, kickoff at 6:30 with pre-match coverage beginning at 6 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. But Chris, we wish you the best of luck. We appreciate you taking time for us here today on 760.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thank you, man.
All right, great stuff from Chris McVey. We've touched on this a lot, Alan, since we've started the show 5 weeks ago. SDFC is looking for that momentum or right result, and maybe that begins Saturday night.
Got to be right now
against LA.
By the way, there is a little bit of I know what Darren was talking about and went to the game. We were talking to Darren earlier in the week. Yesterday, LAFC had a game versus Toluca, right? That game was in Los Angeles. And it sounds like, those games, to have 3 games in 1 week, that has to have an effect on LAFC. And honestly, for San Diego, it's try to take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, you're not really paying attention to your competition, but at the same time, when they're desperate for some positive momentum, hopefully they take advantage of it. And hopefully that place, I do like what he said. Hopefully the place is rocking on Saturday. SDFC, LAFC should be a fun environment.
Looking forward to it. We're getting back to Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres, the good, bad, and ugly from the first month of Padres baseball in 2026. We'd love to hear from you. Our phone lines are open if you want to weigh in. Driving around Southern California this afternoon. Good, bad, and ugly of the Padres through 30 games. 877-767-4760 or text us 70470. Start it with the word team. Plus, we're giving away tickets to see Santana this hour on Schaefer and Sliwa. Stay with us here on San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. The Padres are off today. They start a weekend series with the White Sox tomorrow night down at Petco Park. It's going to be Noah Schultz going against Herman Marquez. For the Friars, first pitch is set for 6:40. We got 3 potential closeout games in the first round of the NBA playoffs today. Right now, with about little over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Knicks are all over the Hawks 25-13. At about 5 o'clock, we're going to have Celtics 76ers, and at 6 we got Timberwolves at Nuggets. Tomorrow night we got Lakers Rockets game 6. You can hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Our pregame coverage will begin at 6:15, and we'll have the tip a little after 6:30. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie deals at $4, $6, and $8. Pick one of the new Biggie deals you're craving. For a pretty Biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
If you like San Diego local sports, we have you covered today because Patrick Merrill is, I think, like the 7th or 8th year head coach of the San Diego Seals. They're in the postseason taking on Toronto. They'll be at home this weekend. He'll join us at 4:45. And then San Diego State's baseball head coach will swing by, Kevin Vance, at 5:30. The Aztecs have won 8 straight. Steven Strasburg's on staff. Aztec for life Ty France is now playing for the Padres. And the Aztecs will play for first place this weekend out of Tony Gwynn Stadium. So we'll catch up with Kevin Vance, Alan, coming up in about an hour or so here on Schaefer and Sliwa.
Look at us. Look at us. We're starting the show off, making sure we're delivering San Diego Padres. Then we're following that up with some Aztec basketball. Then a little SDFC. Now we got the San Diego Seals coming up here, and then closing it out with a little San Diego State baseball. Look at us.
Look at us today. We were talking earlier about, we haven't spent a ton of time on Tatis. We did spend a little bit of time on the Padres, the good, bad, and ugly 30 games in. You had mentioned our chat here today on YouTube. And again, you can join us each and every weekday from 3 to 6 on YouTube. Just search for Schaefer and Sliwa. Is there anything you wanted to jump off with that has come in within the last hour or so from our chat? I can go through a comment or two as well off our text line at 70470. Start it with the word team.
Couple people going specifically at Jackson Merrill. I think so much attention right now has been on Tatis.
Mm-hmm.
So much attention right now has been on, you could call Machado. Jackson Merrill's kind of flown under the radar. So I got a couple on that. Here's another one here. I'm actually mind blown. We're still dragging Tatis and not focusing on the dead spots of the team in Merrill, Manny, and Jake. So it's kind of funny. I think that it almost feels like there's a few people in the chat where it's like, can you balance some of this criticism? Like, we get it. Yes, everybody knows Tatis hasn't hit a home run. Like you were mentioning, go look at his average. He's around 250, something along those lines. I know we've already said this. He hits the ball hard. Okay, that's fine. Put that to the side. But I think more of the vibe that I'm getting with the good, the bad, and the ugly is spread out some of that ugly, because it's not just one person. There's multiple people that you can look at on this Padres roster that have underperformed, and they're still 19-11. I mean, I'm kind of like lost of words here. That part of this, they're still 19-11.
It's interesting because, like Tatis, I'm going to put it this way. This is a weird analogy. It's like if you go to the circus, like right now, Tatis would be like the headliner. He's like, look at this. You've never seen anything like in your life. $340 million deal, 40 home run seasons, 1,000 OPS seasons as a 20-year-old. And look at where he is right now. Can he capture the player that he was? That to me is just fascinating and never gets old for me. Because on one hand, you've seen him at his best. On the other hand, you're like, can he ever get there again? Merrill's a third-year player. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not willing to make these, broad judgments on a third-year player right now. He's had some good and he's had some injuries that he dealt with last year.
Sure.
Manny always gets to his numbers. I've played this game with Manny for 8 years. It's like you criticize Manny and he makes you look foolish with 2 home run games or 4 homer weeks, and all of a sudden he's right there with his numbers. Cronenworth to me is more of a sideshow than a headliner. He's been a good player, multiple-time All-Star. He makes good money, but it's not Machado, Merrill, or Toddy money. They're all part of the story. But for me, again, the headliner, it's just impossible for my mind to escape Tatis, because I want to know how it ends, when it ends, in terms of him hitting for power that he has shown in his career, but for whatever reason is not showing now.
This is a great handle here on YouTube, Ocean View Coffee Shop. He says, and I think this is a perfect way to describe it, for those that maybe aren't overreacting too much into the Tatis. I think everybody's overreacting, but maybe somebody that's letting it slide. He said, I'll give Tatis a pass because the Padres are winning, but I'm not making excuses for him. I don't think anybody's making an excuse for Tatis. I think most people are looking at, the frustration of Tatis, and we're now starting to look at numbers that we're trying to figure out here. Hey, what player has played in his first 30 games, didn't have a home run? Right. How many home runs did they have the rest of the way? What's the highest on that? Can Tatis, he had 24 last year. Does he got a shot to get back to 24? Is he going to regress even more? But all of that can be quieted because they're winning some games. And I think the 19-11 record, however the hell they got there, and it sounds like, some people want to give them credit. Other people maybe don't want to give them as much credit. You could look at the schedule. You could say, yeah, but this, but that. I could sit here and also tell you Pavetta's been out. Musgrove never came back. We can kind of look up and down at some of the things that it's not like everything has gone perfect for the Padres. They've had great comebacks. I think one of the great storylines so far in these first 30 games is you can't count the Padres out. There's plenty of things that we could look at outside of Tatis, but Tatis, of course, is going to always headline it for some of the reasons that you mentioned.
I've always said with Tatis, like it's a brief postseason career, but he's had some brilliant postseason moments. Now, he didn't last year against the Cubs, brief 3-game series. I gave him a bit of a pass because of what he's done previously in his career in a Padres uniform. And we're a long way from the postseason. And part of me, anytime Tatis is in one of those situations, I'm like, maybe he recaptures it. 1,100 OPS guy in the postseason. But I can't wait on that, obviously. I'm not just going to say, well, he had 11 home runs this year, and he had a 700 OPS. But trust me, he's going to figure it all out in the postseason. And remember what we said last year in the postseason and what a lot of pundits said. The reason the Padres didn't have a realistic path to make a run is they don't hit for power.
Sure.
And this isn't just a Tatis story right now. But when you think about the Padres through 30 games, some guys are 3 or 4 home runs that have been fine. And there have been some impactful moments like from Gavin Sheets and others. And I'm not saying this is how it'll play out for the next 132, but if it did, where your leading home run hitter hits 20-something home runs, you're walking back down that narrative, which is like, well, is this a good power hitting team? And if it's not, can they make the run you're asking them to make?
I think a lot of baseball people say that you can't take the Padres serious and that's one of those reasons, right? That it's so hard to hit in the postseason, and you're facing such excellent pitching. And the further down the line you go, and you find yourself, you're out of the wild card, and now you're in the divisional round. The competition's only getting better and better. I think part of that reason of you got to hit homers, you got to have power is you don't get too many opportunities. So when one of your guys churns on one and there's 2 on,
right?
I mean, let's go back to the Cubby series. Machado churned on one. Was that a 3-run homer? I'm trying to think in game 2. When
I think it was a 2-run homer.
Okay, 2-run homer.
Yep.
That was their offense for the series.
That's right.
So I think and it makes sense, right? Like, I'll give an example, and I hate to give this example, but there's some truth to it. It's like with the Dodgers, you're almost just waiting. Someone's gonna hit one. And by the way, it doesn't have to be Ohtani. Doesn't have to be Mookie Betts. It could be, pick whichever guy. It could be Will Smith. It could be, like, you go down the list. Muncy's gonna lay into one. That's the one thing I think with the Padres, and I think that's a fair assessment to make. Once you get to the postseason, it's tough to score runs. And unless you have that, especially for the Padres, like for the Padres, what has been the reason why in the last 2 postseasons they were eliminated? Is it because it was awful pitching, or is it because they can't score?
Yeah.
They can't score. I mean, even in the game, go back to that divisional round in LA. Darvish was phenomenal. He gave up 2 solo shots, and that was the game. It was 2-0, right? Like
I don't think the Padres had a runner second in that game, did they?
I don't think they
maybe
did.
One time.
And that might have been I think it was early on, like very, very early in the game, something along those lines. But I think there's some truth to that. Let me read another one of these comments because I think this is good too. Jay Farrell put one good and one bad. By the way, I want, and I know John and I always talk about this off air, but we really, really encourage San Diegans who are out driving around, pick up the phone, shoot the you-know-what with us. We love talking, obviously, about San Diego. Love talking Padres baseball. 877-767-4760. So 877-767-4760. Always feel like that line is open. You guys can call it anytime. Here's another one from Jay Farrell on YouTube. Here's the good. When Padres starters have left the game with a lead, they have won all but 2 of those games. One of the 2 was the loss, the second games in Mexico City. So, I think one of the things maybe we don't even talk enough about, the starters are doing everything they can. Clearly, a lot of these arms, the Padres don't have the best version of themselves to start these games. And I don't think anybody thought, hey, you're going to need Waldron this early in the season. I don't think anybody really thought Buehler and Marquez was going to be these unbelievable starters. They are what they are, 4th or 5th starters. But the Michael Kings of the world, Randy Vasquez, I think those are 2 positive notes as well, specifically Vasquez.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think King too, really, considering he was coming off injury a year ago, what he's been able to do to this point. We'll get back to the Padres at 5 p.m. We're catching up, though, with the San Diego Seals head coach, Patrick Merrill, out of the NLL, the National Lacrosse League. They're in the postseason. They're playing in the National Lacrosse League semifinals this weekend. Game 2 is actually Sunday at Pechanga here in San Diego at 3 p.m. They're getting ready to face Toronto, and Patrick Merrill will join us next. We also are giving away tickets to see Santana, and we'll do that coming up this hour. We have Motley Crue tickets to give away in the 5 o'clock hour. Here until 6 p.m. here on San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we're going to try to connect with Patrick Merrill, San Diego Seals head coach. They're getting ready for the National Lacrosse League semifinals. They want a thriller in their quarterfinals. They'll play a best-of-3 semifinal beginning tomorrow in Toronto. Game 2 here in San Diego on Sunday. So we both said the Hawks are forcing a 7th game, right? They're home. They got momentum. They could force a 7th game. They allow a 40-piece at home to the Knicks in the first quarter. They are trailing the New York Knicks 44-15. Now, is there like a run rule in the NBA? Like, do they end a game at 29? I don't think they do.
Yeah, first off, I can't believe you picked the Hawks.
Wait, you picked the Hawks too.
I didn't say anything. I said nothing. And I'm pretty sure I just kind of did it in support of our show together.
I like that.
Yeah, they're getting their ass kicked. Yes, there is a rule in the NBA. If at halftime you're down by 25 plus, call the game. They tell everybody to go home and they don't give you a refund.
In all honesty, seriously, when you are, because you cover a lot of these games, you watch a lot of these games.
Yeah.
At what deficit are you like, game is over? Mm-hmm. Because in the NBA, teams do overcome 22, 24-point deficits a good amount in the regular season. But is there a number where you're like, it's just not happening?
30?
30.
That's a lot.
It's a big number.
You're down 30 points. I mean, that's a freaking lot. What's harder to come back from? I'm not kidding when I ask this. Down 30 or down 6 with 30 seconds left and you don't have the ball. I'm not kidding.
Say that again because Brent was talking to me.
So down 30, which one's tougher? Down 30 to come back from or down 6 with 30 seconds left and you don't have the ball?
Down 6, 30 seconds
I
left.
think so too.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say we're in like baseball down 6 runs.
No.
What do you think? I mean, I would.
The equivalent of baseball?
I mean, what's the equivalent? I mean, if you're down 30, you can win in the NBA. If you're down 6 runs, you can win in baseball.
They were just down 6. They were down 6 to the Mariners.
I know. Well, Padres are a weird example because they have a lot of come from behind wins for whatever reason this year. But I'll tell you what I'm not trying to do if I'm Atlanta tonight is fall behind 44-15 at home in an elimination win or go home game for Atlanta. That wouldn't be on like my list of what I'm trying to do.
Probably not a good idea.
No, really not. So 3 games tonight. We've got Nuggets, T-Wolves. We touched on this before game 5 even, saying all of a sudden the shoe is on the other foot because of these injuries, including to Ant. Now all of a sudden it feels like the Nuggets are the favorite to win the series. We'll see if they can get out of it. And then the Celtics, they coughed away a game against Philadelphia. They're not going to do it again. They're not going to tempt fate. I mean, we said this, who knows what we know, but I'd be shocked. That one would really surprise me. Whatever. Hawks and Knicks. Celtics, the Eastern Conference favorite. I would be shocked if they kind of messed around here tonight and didn't win this series.
We played a clip a little bit earlier from Charles Barkley. He was talking about the Lakers. He was saying, hey, LeBron, the further you go and the tougher it's going to be to win any of these games.
Yeah.
Just to go back real quick on the Lakers series. So I don't know if you saw this.
I'm just seeing what you put in the chat. That's great. That's interesting.
Mike Trudell put it out, who's the Lakers reporter, Spectrum Sportsnet. So if they lose tomorrow, and this just kind of gives you what the Lakers are in for. If they lose tomorrow, then that means they have a game Sunday. And if they win that game and they got the Oklahoma City Thunder after that, the first 5 games of the series against the Thunder are all one-day rest. So that means they would play Sunday to finish off game 7, Tuesday game 1
in Oklahoma,
Thursday game 2, Saturday game 3, Sunday game Monday game 4, and then Wednesday. Basically, I think kind of falls a little bit into Barkley's point, but it is the second round, and the Lakers are not this powerhouse, so they're going to have to deal with it anyway.
Well, here's the one. I mean, to me, it's a caveat because it's a lot of basketball for some of these aging players, but I don't know. What's the latest on Luka in terms of if they do make it out of this round, and now all of a sudden you're looking at Tuesday, which is still 5 days away from now. I mean, you're pushing almost a week. Like, is Luka returning? Is the expectation he would return in the second round, or no? They'd have to make the Western Conference final for Luka to return.
Nobody really knows. I think there's a chance he goes in the second round, but nobody really knows.
Interesting.
In regards to when he'd actually come back.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Well, we're watching the lead right now. You said 30 points. It's 32, 33 for the Knicks. 33-point lead. And that's 14 minutes into the game. With 10 minutes to play in the second quarter, they lead 48-15.
Look, this is for me, if I'm at the game, I'm a Hawks fan.
Are you leaving?
This is when I start kind of like, all right, what's the plan here? if we get out of here now, we can get home and catch the Minnesota game,
Right.
the Minnesota-Denver game. So I'm game planning in this situation.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. By the way, text line is open, 70470. You can start your message with the word team. You can also call us, as Alan said earlier, if you want to weigh in on the Padres. An off day today, the White Sox at Petco tomorrow. You can call us, 877-767-4760. Also, I want to mention this. We're giving away Santana tickets in the next 5 minutes. So if you like Santana, if you want some free concert tickets, this is this summer, August 11th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater right here in San Diego. If you want 2 free tickets to see Santana, go nowhere. We'll give those away in the next 4 or 5 minutes. I've always said this about the off days, Alan. It's like it feels like it feels like a long time. It feels like more than a day. And the reason I say it is when the Padres play a day game to wrap up a series like they did yesterday, we spent all yesterday recapping the series loss. And then today you're looking back and you're looking ahead. And then tomorrow we have the entirety of the show because they don't play until tomorrow night. Now we're at Riverwalk tomorrow. Looking forward to talking Aztec football in the spring game coming up this weekend. But there's a lot of time for discussion.
Sure.
If I'm Fernando Tatis Jr., you said it earlier and I agree. It's like, just don't worry, don't swing harder, don't think more. That only can make things more challenging. But the truth is we're all human beings. And sometimes when I'm sitting on something, it's actually a lot more challenging than just trying to get it out of the way, so to speak. It's like coming off a bad football loss and having a bye week and then playing the next Monday Night Football. You have 15 days between games. Something about a day game to an off day to a night game where if you're Tatis, you hope he's just not sitting on it for 48 plus hours.
Can you give a little context? Dennis Lin had an article earlier today, and I know you had the specific quote there. Give a little context to that article, and then I want to read a tweet. Somebody tagged us in a tweet more about hitting the ball hard and everything else, and we could kind of break down how much that actually means and should it mean something, but give a little more context to that article.
All right, so Dennis Lin today did a deeper dive on Tatis's struggles. The quotes from Tatis after yesterday, I've been close for a while, but it's just a sacrifice fly. That's when he came through in the 8th, pulled the Padres to within 5-4, but basically missed it. He got underneath a pitch and didn't hit it out to straightaway center field. He got underneath it and fly down. He says, I just see it that way. He went on to say, as I find this quote, I'm doing everything, hitting early, doing batting practice after games. It still doesn't turn around. I don't know, trying to figure it out. There was more in here as well, and I'm trying to find it.
Well, I'll tell you where I'm trying to go to and kind of, takes part of this conversation. I don't think Tatis doesn't take me as somebody that, hey, I can just brush that away. Tatis doesn't give me the vibe of like, no big deal, I'll get the next one. It does feel like obviously it's lingering in his head. Some of those quotes that you even read off right there, I'm doing everything. Like there's a little bit of, not that he's given up, because he's clearly not given up and doing everything he can and tweaking where he can, but mentally the man is probably exhausted about the conversation, just wants to see one home run go so everyone can shut up for a couple of minutes, including me and you. And it probably isn't going to go away because let's just say hypothetically he has, by the time we get through May, let's say he has 2 home runs. Is the home run conversation stopping with Tatis? Like it's not really going away until he goes on a real stretch.
Yeah, that's a really good point if he has his 2 home runs through the month of May. By the way, the quote that was the headline of the article from Tatis, I'm just not happy. I'm going through it and I'm just trying to figure it out. And I think he's not happy with the way he's been performing. He's not saying he's not happy. He's not happy with the results. 130 plus plate appearances into the year. Let's catch up with Patrick Merrill on the other side because he's calling in from Toronto. So Patrick Merrill, the Seals head coach, will join us for a few minutes on the other side. But call right now if you want free tickets to see Santana at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Caller 5. You've got 2 free tickets. You need to call right now. 877-767-4760. Call right now for 2 free tickets to see Santana for Live Nation Summer of Live. This is with the Doobie Brothers, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, August 11th. It's Live Nation Summer of Live, all in $30 tickets to this concert and tons more. Now through May 5th at livenation.com. Caller 5, you're going. 877-767-4760. Patrick Merrill on the other side, head coach of the Seals, getting ready for the NLL semifinals. Plus, we're talking some Aztec baseball in the 5 o'clock hour and more giveaways as well here on Schaefer and Sliwa on San Diego Sports 760.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. The Padres are off today. They start a weekend series with the White Sox tomorrow at Petco Park. It's going to be Noah Schultz going for the Sox and German Marquez going for the Padres. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got 3 potential closeout games in the first round of the NBA playoffs right now. With about 7 minutes to go in the first half. Oh my God. The Knicks are up 60-19 on Atlanta. I think it's safe to say that one is over. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll have the tip-off of the Celtics 76ers. And at 6 o'clock, we got Timberwolves and Nuggets. Tomorrow night, right here on San Diego Sports 760, we'll have game 6 of Lakers Rockets. You can hear the pregame coverage beginning at 6:15, and we'll have the tip a little after 6:30. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.
All right, final time, final hour of Schaefer and Sliwa on this Thursday afternoon. We've got Motley Crue tickets to give away coming up. Patrick Merrill, he has been the longtime head coach of the San Diego Seals. They're getting ready for the semifinals in the National Lacrosse League in Toronto. A best-of-3 series kicking off tomorrow. He'll join us momentarily. We'll talk some Aztec baseball as well. They are scorching hot. They've won 8 straight. They'll play for first place this weekend at Tony Gwynn Stadium. We'll catch up with their head coach at 5:30. Kevin Vance. And also, Brent just said in the update, the Knicks are up 41 with 7 minutes to play in the second quarter in Atlanta.
42 now. 42 61-19.
That's got to be like an NBA record.
I wonder what the over-under was on this game.
In terms of margin?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Do we have
62-19?
Do we have Patrick Merrill? All right, Patrick Merrill, we'll switch gears. We'll get back to it. I think it's pretty safe to say the Knicks are going to be moving on in the Eastern Conference. Looking to move on, hopefully at some point over the next week, the San Diego Seals, they'll play the NLL semifinals game 1 in Toronto tomorrow. They're back home in San Diego playing Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. at Pechanga Arena. And we've got Patrick Merrill, the head coach of the Seals, with us right now on San Diego Sports 760. First of all, Coach, we appreciate you taking time for us. It wasn't easy to get to this point, right? I mean, you were fighting to get into the postseason late. You did. Then you won that back and forth quarterfinal round. For our listeners that aren't aware, how did you get here over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? I think. I mean, obviously, it's been a lot of parity in the league this year, and we definitely went through our fair share of adversity there at the end of the season, but. Kind of did what we needed to do, won the games that we needed to win to get in, and then in a one and done playoff format in the first round, we played a really good game and were able to pull it out against Colorado in overtime in Denver. So we're pretty confident right now, and pretty happy to be down in the Final Four.
Patrick, can you tell us the matchup coming up against Toronto specifically? I know you got game 2 is Sunday here in San Diego at the Pechanga Arena. But just tell us a little bit about the opponent and what you guys should be expecting in this semifinal matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto's a pretty tough opponent, especially in their arena. But we've had a couple close games against them already this year. They're kind of built similarly to the way we are built. They're a very athletic, kind of aggressive team. So it should be a pretty evenly matched game again, or series again. But like I said, I think it's, we're feeling really good about our game, and we feel like we've been playing our best lacrosse down the stretch here, and I think we're going to be a handful for those guys to, starting tomorrow night.
What is it about this franchise? I mean, you've been a part of it for however long this is now, right? The last handful of years, more than that, since the birth of the Seals. How do you feel about just the current state of San Diego Seals lacrosse and what you've built, all these postseason appearances? There's been division titles. There have been playoff runs. How do you feel about the state of the franchise?
Yeah, I think it's never been in a better place. Our fan base has consistently grown, since we started back in 2018, 2019. We have a really, really strong core group of loyal fans that, seem to become more and more knowledgeable and passionate kind of every week, and certainly every year. And with regards to the team, we've been able to make the playoffs, every year since we were an expansion team. But haven't really been able to get over the hump, in the playoffs yet. And, but in this league with the way that the playoff format is, and, we think we have just as good of a chance, obviously, as anybody. And our goal is the same as it was in year one, is to bring a championship to San Diego. And, our fan base definitely deserve it, because they're one of the most enthusiastic fan bases in the league.
Seals head coach Patrick Merrill joining us right now on the Schaefer and Sliwa show. Let's. I think you could talk to, like you mentioned, you have a very passionate core. There's fans out there that have supported you guys. How about some San Diegans who haven't come out to a game? Can you just tell us a little bit? I mean, what a great opportunity to be to come out on Sunday, a playoff game, 3 p.m. at Pechanga. Just kind of, I guess, have a little bit of a dialogue with those that have never come out to a game, why they should come out that afternoon and support, obviously, the Seals in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons, and I think most fans that come for the first time get hooked pretty quickly on our sport, on our game, and our team. I think, especially at this time of year, I think these are the best athletes in the world for the sport. We have an exciting team that plays an exciting brand of lacrosse. But the sport in general, I mean, I think it combines kind of the physicality of hockey and football. Flow wise, it's very similar to basketball as well. So I think it's even for people that have never seen the game or didn't grow up with the game or aren't knowledgeable about the game right away, I think it's pretty easy to pick up and attach yourself to. And again, I think just for us, we just appreciate the support, because again, getting down to the final 4 teams in this league is really tough to do. And that's where we are. We're 4 games away from winning a championship here. So the more support that we can get to help us bring that cup back to San Diego, the better. And I know our guys, the fans are the biggest motivating factor for us, and so we're going to play extremely hard for them.
We're going to be watching this weekend. Again, it gets underway in Toronto on Friday, back in San Diego, the quick turnaround Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Tickets at sealslax.com. Patrick, we'll let you run. We know you're getting ready for that game, but real quick, my final one would be like, that's pretty rare in professional lacrosse, is it not, to play on a Friday and then travel and then play again on a Sunday?
Well, it does happen a few times this season. You do have back-to-back weekends a few times this season, but in the playoffs, and flying across the continent, it's just it's a different type of grind, but it's the same for both teams. And I mean, again, if you're not banged up at this time of year, right? It's it's just part of it. So we'll be ready, and again, hopefully, we're going to get some more juice from our fans on Sunday afternoon, and hopefully, fortunately enough, finish them off in game 2 at home.
Tickets at sealslax.com. That's sealslax.com. Patrick, appreciate it. Best of luck tomorrow and this weekend as well.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right, great stuff. Patrick Merrill. Hey, listen, I'm thinking about it as we knew we had this conversation scheduled for today. I'm thinking, what do I have going on Sunday afternoon? Because it is a really cool atmosphere. I've been there a lot. I called their games initially. I want to bring my 7-year-old who's never been potentially. You got the afternoon
That's a great idea. It's a good idea.
It's not an 8 o'clock start or something. It's great for families.
Plus a playoff game, semifinal.
Yeah.
Listen, anytime you can have anybody representing San Diego and have a shot of winning it. And listen, I know lacrosse is not the NFL. I get it. And granted, it's very popular in different parts of the country, but sounds like a great way to spend your Sunday afternoon. Go to Petco for a couple of innings and then go catch the San Diego Seals. Just go from one.
I feel like switching back to the NBA postseason, Alan. I feel like
what's the score now?
The Knicks have woken a sleeping giant in the Hawks. Now, sure, the Knicks are up 50. It's 72-22, but there was a little bit of like a brouhaha that played out. Now, if I'm the Hawks, am I really trying to get in a fight down 50 at home?
What happened?
I don't even know. There was like some pushing and shoving. They're reviewing a play. I don't know what it was. They're reviewing a play. 72-22.
OG Anunoby has 24 on his
own. The Hawks have 22. And there's 5 minutes to play in the first half. I mean, there's a world where the Knicks could get to 90 points in the first half.
Oh, 90. There's definitely a world. How familiar are you? By the way, 22 is...
That's laughable.
What the hell happened to the Hawks? Why did you pick them? Real quick. How familiar are you with plus minuses? I mean, it's a in the
basketball stat. Hey, whatever.
This
Malachi Flynn is plus 22 when he's on the floor. Yeah.
OG Anunoby
plus 50
is a plus 41.
That's pretty good.
The second quarter with 4:39 left to go.
Well, give me a Hawk that's minus 39.
Oh, that's actually a much more interesting stat. Who do we have here? Who's the worst on this?
What about Shea's cousin?
Jalen Johnson is Jonathan Kuminga minus 39.
Minus 39. That's unbelievable.
And they're in the second quarter.
What do you say, by the way, as a coaching staff?
Halftime?
Well, no, not even halftime. What do you say at the end of the season? Hey, guys, it was a good run here. We forced a 6th game. You lost by 70.
But that's why I like the halftime speech more. Because the halftime speech, you're walking in and you're like, listen, guys, we got to turn it around. Hey, Kuminga, do you know you're a minus 37 on the plus minus?
Like, what are you doing out there? Yeah, that's a great point. Halftime, do you even speak with your team at halftime? Here come the Hawks, by the way. They've scored the last 3 points.
They're on a 3-0 run.
They're on a 3-0 run.
Do you even speak to the guys at halftime? That's a good point. Actually, you know what I tell them? I'd be like, guys, let's not go in the locker room. Let's just
stay here and shoot, guys.
Shoot around here a little bit.
How many of the fans stay for the second half? Dead serious. More than 50% stick around?
You know what sucks about it? Like, this isn't just an ass kicking in the regular season, and like there's a game coming up in 2 days. Your season is going to end
for months
like this.
Right. Yeah. It's not a great look for Atlanta. 72-25 right now in game 6 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals.
3-0 run.
But they are on that 3-0 run, so we'll see if that carries or not. We're giving away Motley Crue tickets. We'll do that coming up this hour. What I want to get to on the other side, we'll talk to Kevin Vance, SDSU's baseball head coach. They've won 8 straight, by the way. They're playing for first place in the Mountain West this weekend at Tony Gwynn Stadium. On the other side, payroll is directly tied to winning in Major League Baseball, right? Or is it not here in 2026? We've got some specifics to share with you on the other side. Plus, we're giving away those Motley Crue tickets, talking some Aztec baseball. They've won 8 consecutive games trying to get to first place in the regular season this weekend themselves. Stay with us here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We are live on the iHeartRadio app. SDFC back at Snapdragon. Saturday, they're taking on LAFC. Coverage with Adrian Garcia Marquez, Darren Smith, beginning at 6. On your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Kevin Vance, first-year head coach of the Aztecs baseball team, will join us coming up at 5:30. We have Motley Crue tickets to give away this hour. We'll do that coming up between now and 6 p.m. The Hawks aren't going to win this game. I hate to be the spoiler alert guy, or like
what's the latest?
They've scored the last 2, I think, to pull to within 51 or 49.
So they're technically on like a 6-5 run.
Yeah, or like a 6. I was about to say 6-7. But like a negative run that's been good for them. Like they've been outscored during the run, but it's nowhere near as bad as the game has been for them.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like one of the talking points at halftime.
Yeah, that's I would love to hear. What is Charles Barkley going to say? Because the game is on ESPN and that Inside the NBA crew is doing this game.
It's terrible.
I have a feeling he may be critical of the Hawks at the break.
He might find a way to take a shot at LeBron and the Lakers too.
He probably will.
Very creatively say, yeah, let me take a quick shot at the Lakers.
He probably will. There's an article posted today at ESPN.com from Jeff Passan about the first month of the Major League season. He notes that the 12 highest payrolls in the sport, these teams all have spent more than $230 million on their roster this year, from the Dodgers through the San Francisco Giants. Those 12 teams have combined to go 6 games over 500. There's some good in there. Teams like San Diego and LA. There's some bad in there, like the Mets and the Phillies. Those 12 teams, Alan, are on pace, if you combine those teams, to win 82 games in the regular season. Aberration, correlation. What do you make of that? The top 12 spenders have not necessarily played like it the first 30 games of the year.
Okay, I got a couple things on this. Why do I feel like Jeff Passan is really trying to push a narrative?
No, he is.
That money doesn't matter in Major League Baseball. Like it's honestly, I've never met Jeff Passan. I have no idea what his narrative is. I know he's great at his job and everything else.
Yep.
What is the point that you're trying to make?
I'm not sure either.
No, because I think if you're trying to tell me this, does money guarantee you winning? It doesn't. Like, I don't want people to think, let's use the team that everybody's talking about, and for some reason the franchise that Jeff Passan seems to be protecting any way that he possibly can. Let's use the Dodgers as an example. Let's say tomorrow there's a salary cap in baseball, okay?
Yeah.
John, are the Dodgers still going to be a well-run team?
Yes.
They are. Do you know what one of the top farm systems in all of Major League Baseball, on top of the fact that they spend everything that they spend? It's the Dodgers, or they're, within 1 or 2 or whatever the case is. The Dodgers are a well-ran franchise, period. Give them a salary cap. You don't give them a salary cap. The Dodgers are well-ran. The New York Mets. Is just because you spend money guaranteeing you that they're wise investments? I could sit here and look at the Padres. Let's say the Padres get a salary cap. Would that technically benefit the Padres? Would it not? Like, we can make an argument. Padres have some of the worst contracts in all of baseball. So I guess my initial reaction is, number one, why is Passan continuing to try to push this narrative that baseball is fine just the way it is? That's number one. And number two, anyone who does not think that baseball needs a salary cap, or at least some kind of way to reel in and try to make at least the each franchise, give them a more equal opportunity to competing, I don't know what to tell you if you don't think that's not what baseball needs.
Yeah, like, this is a weird paragraph. Maybe it's just a sentence, but it's written kind of like a paragraph within that article. After the 12 payrolls, he writes, as far as labor talking points for the MLBPA, the Players Association, go, there are far worse than, if money spent matters enough that the league is intent on pursuing a salary cap, why are so many of the most expensive teams so bad? A, that's written so oddly. B, he typically comes across actually as the guy that says, why doesn't every team spend like the Dodgers? So he typically is a pro player writer. And again,
I agree with that.
And yeah. I don't even know how he's spinning it there, but he's again spinning that as a pro player take. He'll definitely, I will say this, man, his his narrative will be a big talking point throughout this labor negotiation.
I agree.
He will be pushing hard throughout the process. And I feel like he started the process like a year out. He's been doing this for weeks on end, and he's doing it once. It is, I'm with you. It's kind of a weird talking point through April, in my opinion.
Well, okay, listen, I don't think you can't. I'm okay with the argument that spending money doesn't guarantee you winning.
Sure.
It's a good narrative. I think that's fine. I think you would have that narrative. But why isn't more of the conversation of like, guys, can we just have some common sense here? It's a little lopsided. Like if you're running a business and the idea of the business is to try to compete and everybody's got one goal and you got 30 other teams comparing, not every market is created equal. So can we find a way to make each market created equal? And if Passan's argument is more about the players, hey, this is all BS. If you put a salary cap, now the owners are just making that much more money and that money should be going to the players, then be more blunt about that. Like just say, I'm here to stand up for the players, and I think it's BS if you create a salary cap and now more money and more revenue is now in the pockets of the owners. I don't like the way that's structured. Make that case then. Then. But I let me just go back to the one other point that I just said. No one's saying you go look at Major League Baseball right now. If I told you, give me the 10 teams that are ran the best, not all of it is going to be based off of dollars and cents. You're going to have some organizations that are just ran well. They got good ownership. They got a good front office. It doesn't all come down to money, but money in Major League Baseball is such a wide differentiator that it has to be talked about, which is why they're probably going to end up in strike.
By the way, it is remarkable to note that in his April recap article, under 5 guys to be concerned about, and he's not talking about like the restaurant chain, none of them are Padres. Like, I didn't know if Tatis would be in there, but I figured maybe then Jackson Merrill would be, even Manny or Jay Cronenworth. But none of the 5 guys to be concerned about, a list that includes Rafi Devers, who, by the way, has been a complete shadow of himself, here to start the year. None of them are San Diego Padres. So again,
Tatis
a lot of talk here. Not in there. I thought he might be top 3, and he's not in the top 5 to be concerned about per Jeff Passan.
So that article that we did earlier in the week that was on right fielders, that was different.
But if he's the most disappointing right fielder, but again, with all the positions, maybe that doesn't make him a top 5 disappointing player in the sport. We'll switch gears. Interesting writing there from Jeff Passan today. At ESPN.com, San Diego State's baseball head coach Kevin Vance, in his first year as the Aztecs rolling, they've won 8 straight. They're playing for first place this weekend at Tony Gwynn Stadium against Nevada, and he will join us on the other side. Plus, we'll give away Motley Crue tickets, because why not? We'll do that between now and 6 p.m. here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by San Diego Wave FC. The Padres are off today. They start a weekend series with the White Sox tomorrow night at Petco Park. It's going to be Noah Schultz going for Chicago and German Marquez going for the Friars. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got 3 potential closeout games in the NBA going on right now. One of them is pretty much in the bag. The first half is mercifully coming to an end in Atlanta, and it is 83-36. New York is all over the Hawks. Goodbye, Atlanta. It's nice knowing you. And with about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, the 76ers are leading the Celtics 15-14. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we have Timberwolves and Nuggets. Tomorrow night, right here on San Diego Sports 760, we'll have Lakers Rockets Game 6. Our pregame coverage will begin at 6:15, and we'll have the tip a little after 6:30. San Diego, your Wave FC are back for Kids Day at Snapdragon Stadium on May 3rd at 4 o'clock. Tickets start at just $20. Visit SanDiegoWaveFC.com to get your tickets today. That's SanDiegoWaveFC.com.
All right, let's talk some Aztecs baseball. Kevin Vance, in his first year as the head coach of the Aztecs baseball program, has San Diego State rolling right now. They've won 8 straight. And they've got a huge weekend coming up at Tony Gwynn Stadium. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, taking on Mountain West co-leader Nevada. But here's the thing. The Aztecs are only a half game back right now in the Mountain West regular season standings. So, Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes for us here today on the home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. All right, your phone was cutting out a little bit there. Tell us about this winning streak, though. 8 consecutive wins, one of the longer winning streaks here in recent history for the Aztecs. What's been the key?
Yeah, it's been great. You guys got me now?
We got you. Yeah, we do.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun one. We're not really worried too much about the result. I think that's the key. Eliminate the result, focus on the process, and, do what we do best. It's been a fun year, just getting better throughout the year and learning from the ups and downs, sticking to our process and just getting better every day. That's led to those wins. So that's what it's all about. And we just got to continue to enjoy the journey and get better every day, right? Even in these 8 wins that we've had, there's stuff that we got to work on, and we can't lose sight of that. And, that's how you keep the streak going. But we're not too worried about that streak at all. We just want to win pitch 1 on Friday and go from there.
Kevin, it seems like that's a very philosophical baseball way to kind of look at things. How important is that in the game of baseball where, the can't get too high, can't get too low? John and I have been talking here, as you might know, over the last couple of weeks. We're talking about Tatis, and every time Tatis does something, he hasn't hit a home run. How much of this is the head games? In the game of baseball, how much of it is just stick to the process? You'll have some ups, you'll have some downs, and don't get too high or don't get too low.
Yeah, there's way too much in baseball that's out of your control, and controlling your head is the most important thing. I tell our guys, the team with the clearest mind on the most pitches has the best chance to win the game, and that's all we can ask for. You can do everything right and still lose, and still go 0 for 4. And that's why I love baseball, man. It's the ultimate teacher in life, because that's what we're using the game to prepare these guys for life. And, when they get into the real world, it's 1 pitch at a time. Let's give your best effort and with the information at hand and then move on to the next pitch. And, if you can do that in baseball, you can definitely do it in life. I think baseball is harder than life in a lot of ways. It can be mean or just as mean as life is. And so that is, to me, the most important thing, trusting the process and, taking those skills that you learned into life.
Big weekend coming up again for the Aztecs here at Tony Gwynn Stadium. They're taking on the first place team right now in the league in the Mountain West, the final year for San Diego State in the league. They'll take on Nevada this weekend at Tony Gwynn Stadium, Friday at 6, Saturday at 5, Sunday at 1. In fact, Sean Lewis is going to throw out a first pitch after the Aztec spring game on the Mesa. He's going to throw out that first pitch on Saturday as well. How do you feel, Kevin, just about what you've been able to, like the state of the program? Because obviously everything was new for you. You're bringing in players, you're retaining players, you're having success in your first year. How do you feel this success will help you heading into the Pac-12 moving forward as well?
It's huge, just having the momentum going into that league. We're, obviously still focused on the Mountain West and winning a regular season championship and a conference tournament championship and getting to a regional. And I think we're right where we need to be. And, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and think about that stuff. But, yeah, in terms of where the program's at, couldn't be happier. You never know when you're bringing in that many transfers, what the culture is going to be like, but the guys are gelling really well and they play hard. They're bought into what we're doing. And I couldn't be happier with the group in terms of just the ability to stay focused and get better every day. And, we're going to have a good core group of guys back. Most of our arms, they got more years left. And, so we'll have some more guys coming in to, fill in some holes. And, the goal will be to win the Pac-12 next year. And I think we're right where we need to be to start doing that. So I'm really happy.
San Diego State University baseball head coach Kevin Vance taking some time to join us here on the Schaefer and Sliwa Show. Now, you're a native San Diegan. What's it mean? Just that kind of element of it to be representing San Diego State University, obviously be representing San Diego. How much of that, I guess you could say, just the big picture of it, any success that you have, you're also having success for the city of San Diego. What's that portion mean to you?
I mean, it's really the greatest honor of my life. This has kind of been a dream job for me, and filling in the shoes of Tony Gwynn and my childhood idol. Having my parents in the stands, my crazy family in the stands, cheering for me. It's a little embarrassing at times, but it's really fun and special for me to be able to win games with my family watching and family and friends and the whole city, because I grew up, in high school watching Strasburg and, I've always known what San Diego State could be. And, that is my goal. And it is an honor for me to try and bring this program to represent the city and bring some championships to San Diego in college baseball. It's an exciting time for college baseball, and the game is really growing fast. It's a fun product just in general. And we got a great product at San Diego State, and we're building it. We want Tony Gwynn Stadium to be a cornerstone of the San Diego community. And we're trying to revive that. And because I think it has been like that when Tony was here. And, that's the main thing. We want to fill it up and get people excited to come and watch some baseball in a good environment. And college baseball, it's fun. Metal bats, hit some homers, and, get people excited to come down.
You mentioned Steven Strasburg, who's now involved, obviously, in your program. How much pride is there in the Aztec for Life element of the program? I'm thinking about like Ty France right now, who played for Tony Gwynn. He's having success right now with the Padres. There's so many Aztecs that have played or are playing right now in the major leagues. You have someone like Steven Strasburg with his unbelievably, standout career and World Series title, obviously, with the Washington Nationals. What role does this lineage, these alums, play in your current and future successes?
They're a huge part of it. Strauss, being number one, he's an Aztec for life for sure. Love playing for Tony. Love, what the university did for him as a person, more than anything, not just as a player. So having him around, he was at practice today, watching bullpens and working with guys on bunting. So he cares, not just about the pitching side of it. He's really into it, and he's around and helping guys in every aspect of the game. And, the on the field coaching is speaks for itself. But just his presence around and, cultivating other guys who he played with to, be around the guys. And the main thing is the guys need to understand that they're a part of something bigger than themselves. And there's a lot of people that have paved the way for them to be where we are right now as a program. And I want to make sure our guys never forget that. And, there is a rich history and guys still playing, like you said. hoping to get Ty in here and, just talk to the boys, tell them about their perspective, their experience here. And, it's always the same thing. Make sure you enjoy the journey, because at some point it ends. It ends for all of us. And, college baseball is the best time of your life. And, so just having guys around to constantly let them know that is really important. So we can enjoy the journey while we're grinding away. And it's just great perspective to have more than anything. And, we're playing, we're trying to win championships for those that have paved the way for us to do that.
Kevin, I'll squeeze one final one in here now because you're a San Diegan. We'll squeeze, I don't know how much you're getting an opportunity to watch Padres baseball, but 19-11, have you got a chance to watch much of these games? And if you have, just your initial thoughts on what the team has done over the first 30 games.
Man, it's early in the year. You're kind of exposing me too. I haven't watched much, to be honest.
You're busy.
We got games every
your own team.
Yeah, yeah. I catch some highlights. It is cool to see Ty France doing his thing, representing the Aztecs. I know he's killing it, and so that is special. It shows our guys, hey, anyone, we're all capable of doing this. We can get to the next level and do it. But still early. But I that's my review is. Stick to it. Got to keep getting better every day. I don't have much Padres insight.
That was good. Honestly, I'm glad your breakdown was that, because if you had a lot of insight, I'd be like, geez, I mean, I thought you were like the head coach of the Aztecs. How have you had so much time to watch the Padres so far this year? So I kind of like that answer from you. So this weekend, again, get out to Tony Gwynn Stadium Friday, tomorrow at 6 p.m., Saturday at 5, Sunday at 1, Aztecs taking on Nevada, first place in the Mountain West on the line in the regular season. You want to see Sean Lewis throw out a first pitch, you can do that as well on Saturday. You think Sean Lewis is going to, I mean, he looks like a pitcher. Would you imagine he throws a strike on the mound on Saturday?
Yeah, he better. We'll see. I got to coach him up, I think, and maybe play some catch with him tomorrow or see what the arm action's looking like.
Yeah, I like that.
He's got nasty stuff, I heard.
Yeah, his slider's filthy. Yeah, he's got very good breaking pitches.
Okay. I'd like to see a nice slider, executed slider down and away.
Yeah, I can see him having that. Again, like his release point there, he's like already at the plate by the time he releases the baseball at his size. Kevin, enjoyed it. We're looking forward to this weekend. You guys,
good luck.
Home at Tony Gwynn Stadium. So thanks for doing it.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, good stuff from Kevin Vance, first-year head coach of the Aztecs. Fun conversation. Let's give away Motley Crue tickets on the other side here until 6 p.m. San Diego Sports 760, Schaefer and Sliwa, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we'll give away Motley Crue tickets in 60 seconds. I'll tell you what, Alan. Brent just told me this. I've always said this in basketball. The team that allows a 63-11 run almost always loses. And this is something I've said no matter the level, high school, college, professional. When you allow a 63-11 run, you're opening up the possibility of losing.
Yeah, you want to go back to our first show together. One of the first things you said to me, you pulled me to the side.
Off air.
You just said right out the gate, 63-11,
you're
wrap.
Probably not winning. It's going to be hard to win. So
I've never heard those numbers.
63-11 in the NBA. I mean, you might get that in like your Division I against NAIA opponent type run, but not in the NBA. In the postseason, Alan, this isn't some random back-to-back in random town America. Game 6 season on the line.
One time I think we played a game. I can't remember. I think it was like in like middle school or something, right? And the team we were playing was like just stupid, unbelievable. They won, and I still remember the score because my cousin and I still tell each other the story about it. We lost 99-25, right? And we kept saying, but we held them under 100.
Who
right?
was on that team?
Thing. What's that?
Who was on that team?
I think McGrady. I think Tracy McGrady was on there
like
with
AI?
a couple other guys. It was less to do with who was on that team. It was more of who was on our team.
I was going to say, I don't want to, I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Sure.
But you don't scream like, I'm.
Yeah. Well,
like,
listen,
you don't scream like I'm about to go to Division I.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Basketball, played my entire life. Let's just say I was never close to, drawing some real attention. I don't think that's a shocker here.
You were never close to the league? Like you weren't like the scouts saying, hey, you put this thing together.
The point that I'm making is that a game like that, when you're in 7th grade, you could see
It'll
that
happen. Yeah.
They got some guys on the other
7th
side,
grade.
right?
Yeah. The other team could be like grown men.
The Atlanta Hawks and the Knicks in an elimination game to go on what was the run? 63, 61?
63-11.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Just your standard.
Every time I keep looking at ESPN, I'm looking at the
worse.
score, and I'm like, no, this can't be right. I did see the Mitchell Robinson, whatever that was.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Dyson
when it was
Daniels.
a 50-point game. Okay, call right now if you want Motley Crue tickets. Caller 2, you are going. We have 2 tickets to see Motley Crue. Call right now if you want them. Great giveaway. Call right now, though, if you want them. 877-767-4760. Caller 2, 2 free tickets. Motley Crue, Live Nation, Summer of Live. 877-767-4760. September 18th, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Live Nation, Summer of Live. All in $30 tickets to this show and tons more now through May 5th at livenation.com. Padres back tomorrow, taking on the Chicago White Sox at Petco Park off their first series loss in their last 8 tries. So they'll open up that 3-game series against the White Sox, who are 13-17. Kevin Acee, I was going to say he's going to join us tomorrow. I actually don't think he will because we are broadcasting remotely from Riverwalk Golf for the Don Coryell Classic supporting San Diego State football. One day in front of their spring game on Saturday on the Mesa. And Sean Lewis, is he more nervous for his spring game or for throwing out the first pitch to the Aztec baseball game later that day?
It's the only thing you got to do for a first pitch. Just
practice.
Don't be one of those highlights.
Historically bad.
Yeah, because everybody knows when you think of first pitch, like you got certain people that you have in mind. You're like, remember this, how is this person that, whatever the case. Just don't be one of those and you're fine. So that's all he's got to worry about. But if it gets too far into his head here, maybe that's exactly what happens.
You know what?
Just can't screw it up.
I might send this to you. I will after the show. I just reminded that he threw out a first pitch at a Padres game when he was introduced as head coach.
Okay.
So before his first year, and I'm watching it back, and if memory serves, I'm going to say this on air right now without watching it. If memory serves, I don't think it was a great first pitch.
It didn't go well?
I feel bad saying that. It might have been amazing. Let me watch it. I'm watching right now. Oh, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, this guy could be coming out of the bullpen with what's going on right now with this bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if David Morgan gives up a couple more runs, we might have to look in a different direction.
I mean, Sean's like 6'8".
He's huge.
Okay? Like he's not small. He's not small. So Sean Lewis will be on the show tomorrow. Jaden Danigal, Aztec starting quarterback. Lucky Sutton, he's getting written about as a potential NFL prospect. Lucky Sutton will join us tomorrow as well.
I think this is going to be our first. We did a remote together.
Did we?
But that was before we started. That's the
right.
opening day, right? We had like an hour and a half show. We hadn't even announced that we're going to be doing the show yet.
Mary's like, let's do this because if this is terrible, let's just find someone else.
Let's ice it. Right. She said, let's ice it. So this will be our first remote doing it. By the way, badass Riverwalk. What a beautiful part of San Diego.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm really looking. Now, are you going to bring your clubs? Do you
No.
have clubs?
I have clubs. I had clubs that were sitting in the back of my trunk up until about a month ago. I took them out, and they were sitting in there for an easy 2 years, and I would use them once a year. I'm like, yeah, why don't we just take? There's no need to have these things back there. Let's throw those things back in.
Let's play 9 holes. We'll play for 10K a hole, something small, like 10 or 15K a hole.
All right, don't stop BSing me here for a second. If you genuinely would play, then I'm in.
Dude, I'll play
down to
mini
play.
golf. I'll play mini golf against you or with you. I don't know what you play against. No, here's the thing. I don't have clubs, and I haven't played a round of golf much in my life.
Even better. You're going to make me look like Nicholson out there.
Yeah, and I'm going to look like the Hawks out there at Riverwalk if I play. No, but looking forward to it. That's tomorrow at 3, from 3 to 6 on San Diego Sports 760. And you're going to be, you have the equipment, by the way. Without you, there's no show.
Riding on me, huh?
Yes. So remember the equipment.
No, we're good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Honestly, if it was me, I'd be very worried because I'm losing things. And
well, look at 3 days. You came back from Philly with the equipment. I grabbed it immediately, left, went to LA with the equipment. Now I got to come back, grab it tomorrow for Riverwalk. So we're all kind of a little bit all over the place.
I am looking forward to getting out, though, like in the community in San Diego.
Be fun.
And we're going to be doing a lot of those hopefully coming up throughout the spring and summer and fall. All right, back tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll see if the Hawks can overcome this deficit in the second half. Never say never. Never. They're not going to do it.
Looking at the score right now. Just want to quick
what are they
update
down?
here.
60?
103 to 50.
No. Oh, it's only a 53-point game. Okay.
103 to 50.
Crazier things have not happened.
Still a quarter and a half left, though.
Yeah, still a quarter left.
Yeah.
All right. If you missed anything, sportssd.com or the iHeartRadio app. Back tomorrow from Riverwalk at 3. For Brent and Alan, I'm John. This is Schaefer and Slew on San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Peace. Go Hawks.